Hey Jenny, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Sebastian has instructed me to put together a video analysis of what we're proposing to do for your website redesign. And just before I get into things, I wanted to let you know that I've got some notes on a separate screen here, so I'm going to be referring to those throughout the video. So if you catch me looking between screens, yeah, I'm just referring to those notes so I can cover all the points that I need to, so you guys have a complete understanding of what we're trying to do here and what we're proposing. Um, so what I've done is I've taken some time to do a deep dive analysis into your current site, and I've found some major issues that are most probably costing you leads and sales. I'm going to reveal those issues in a moment. I'll take you through each of the pages that I've covered, the issues that I found on each of those pages, and show you what our proposed solution is going to be. I've got multiple examples so that you guys can understand and choose between the proposed solutions that we've got. In order to combat those issues, and obviously the goal here is to create a website that generates leads and sales for your machinery, and a website that is going to allow you guys to grow. So firstly, I want to cover what we're trying to do here, what type of website we're looking to build, and why it works so well for a business like yours who has complex machinery that's on the higher end of the price range, um, and usually has longer sales cycles than the average product. So what we're looking to build is a user-centric website for your customers. I'll get into what a user-centric website means, but what I found to be the major problem with your website and its current setup is that it's a brochure-style website. Often brochure-style websites are created when businesses become resellers of a lot of products, or they have a large inventory of products. And what happens usually is that the products are just listed with some information, and that's what makes it a brochure style website. Now, brochure style websites um, are good for prospects who are well educated in the technology, so they understand what laser cutting machines are. They understand what they need when looking for a particular solution, so they're well educated, and they can go into this brochure style website and they can find a product that is suitable for their purposes, and they can go and contact you guys to find out more information or proceed to purchase the product that they're most interested in. But brochure style websites do not accommodate to all different types of customers that you have. As I said, it's just for the well educated customer. Um, and therefore, if someone was to be new to the technology and wanting to find a particular solution, if they've got an application, or they're looking to cut a particular material, or they've been instructed by their boss to find a particular solution based on a unique job requirement, how would they go about finding a product that is suitable for them? So therefore, we're missing out on making a user experience easy for those types of customers, and therefore you're leaving a lot of money on the table in that scenario. So a poor user experience on a website is one of the leading causes to low sales and lost opportunities, and it hinders your ability to grow, essentially, because you're not taking advantage of the entire range of customers that you have available to you. So that's why we essentially are proposing to create a user-centric website to accommodate for all types of customers who are going to be coming in and wanting to learn more about your machinery, what you have to offer, and to make it easy for them to go from where they are to where they need to be in the quickest way possible. And we call this methodology the path to least resistance. What we're trying to do is create a pathway through website navigation, through pages that are relevant to them, through information that is applicable to them, so they can find a machine and check out. And that's essentially how we're going to create a website that is going to improve in conversions, improve in sales, and improve your growth as a company. So now that I've gotten that out the way, let's dive into some of the issues that I discovered with your website. First of all, starting with your homepage. So the homepage essentially is like the main directory page of the website. It needs to educate prospects on what your business does, what the value proposition of your business is. So your message to market, essentially what makes you different, why people would choose you over competitors. Um, it needs to showcase your different products, your different product ranges. If you've got any special offers on, obviously it needs to highlight them. But it needs to be designed in a way that it makes it easy for a customer to find where they need to go. And what I've noted with your current website setup is the message on the homepage is not clear. So we've got this rotating banner to begin with. You're talking about the different types of machines that you've got, but essentially you're not summing up what the business does. Um, so when someone lands here, they want to know exactly who you are and what you guys specialize in or what you guys do. So we definitely want to work on your message to market, make it clear for a customer to understand who you guys are so that it can validate that they're in the right place, and then they can go further down the page and see what you guys have to offer. The second thing I noted with your current homepage setup is that it's really hard for me, a newbie, someone who doesn't really understand the technology, to find which machines or which range of machines I need to learn more about. So it's hard for me to differentiate between each machine. There's no clear direction on how I would pick on a different category. There is a bit of material or content that is associated with that machine category. But it is essentially hard for me to choose because of layout issues. Having each machine listed in the way that they are makes it hard for me to compare each machine, um, and therefore it hinders my ability to go in and say, yep, that's the right machine category that I need to be looking at. I'm going to go and check out the machines within that category, and then I can try and find a machine that's applicable to me. I also noted that we haven't really listed any benefits about the company. We haven't listed any benefits about the machine. We haven't listed any benefits on why people should choose us. That's essentially your value proposition. That could be lower down the page. Essentially, a value proposition is what makes your company unique. What is your competitive advantage? So that people can easily differentiate. If they've looked at your website and they've looked at 3 other competitor websites, they can say, yep, I'm going to go with Koenig machinery because of this, this, and that. And that's essentially what a value proposition is. It differentiates you from competitors. And also the materials shop and machine consumables shop that you have here, and how it's laid out is a bit confusing in the sense of it's like an endless scroll. Because you have so many materials and so many consumables, I can literally scroll till my heart's content until I possibly find the material that I'm after. When essentially what you're trying to do here, and the goal of the homepage is to get people into internal pages, because the internal pages have more information, they have more functionality, and they give users a better user experience of finding what they want. So we would definitely work on how we would section these 2 areas of your website, and just make it easy for people just to go straight to the shop, because the shop has the filter system already there. It has all products laid out, and it makes it a lot easier for me to find what I'm looking for, instead of having to scroll through the endless aisle of materials that you guys offer. I also wanted to point out with the homepage that it doesn't really give me a good first impression in painting you guys as an authority. That's because it's partially the brochure style website's fault. What we want to be seeing here is if there's any awards that you guys have won, putting a face to the name. So, showcasing maybe the team, showcasing images of your factory, your premises, your technicians, and trying to paint that story of who you guys are, so people can build that rapport and that relationship with you as soon as they land on your homepage. So I guess what we're proposing for a homepage design is something similar to what we've done with a company we worked with recently called Osmist. They provide mist cannon and misting line solutions. for domestic and commercial applications, and also Techni Waterjet, which is a waterjet company based in Camberfield. And what we essentially did with these guys, I'll firstly show you Techni, is we led with the different range of machines. So as you can see, you can get a feel for how many machines there are in the range. We've obviously listed the main differentiator between the machines, which is the cutting size. So obviously the machine bed differentiates, and that's what allows someone to choose between them. And then moving down, to make it even easier for a customer to go to internal pages, we wanted to create a directory based on the different applications or different uses that the machine has. So you can choose via the material you want to cut, you can choose via the industry, you can choose pumps, machines, and accessories. So this is pretty much a directory to all the internal pages within the website, and it allows people to get a visual aid in what they're looking to do. And once they click on any of these icons, it then takes them to that relevant section within the website. So relevance is a big thing with user-centric websites. What you're essentially trying to do is create pages that talk to one another, and you're trying to create that flow, that path to least resistance, so people can go through and pick what they want and find the information that's relevant to them, and then finalize their goal for why they visited your website, whether that's finding information, closing a lead, purchasing a consumable or a machine, etc. So then moving down the page, as you can see, we start to tell that story. We're showcasing the benefits, and they've got little icons, visual elements, but they're spaced to make it easy to read, easy on the eye for a user. And then we start to get into the different categories that we want people to go to. One of them is the pump, because this is a value proposition that Techni Waterjet has. They manufacture their own pumps, and essentially it is the most efficient pump on the market. So if people don't know that, it's going to be hard for them to discover it without us placing it here. So we've popped that on the homepage, and then a live demo, so they can see how the technology works. They can get a feel for the factory, they can get a feel for those who work there, and they can start to build that rapport with the company. Then we get into some features, the awards to try and build accreditation, and then talking about what's most valuable to the customer. And we noted that the after machine support is a priority for people, especially if you're spending thousands of dollars on a big machine. Something were to go wrong, the customer wants to know that you guys will take care of it. So we identified that, and that's why it's placed on the homepage. Then obviously giving them an ability to contact us directly, a lead gen resource that we use to collect leads. And this is a great sales piece because it actually goes into the differences between Waterjet and CNC, because they've noted that most of their customers are either tossing up between the two, or they're making the switch from CNC to Waterjet, or they're having limitations with their CNC machines, and they are considering alternative options for particular projects that they're or projects that have unique requirements that they can't fulfill without a Waterjet machine. So this is a great sales piece, and they collect leads with this. And this could be something we do for your consumables and additional parts and accessories for your machines. We could just essentially get them to that shop, and we could show that the shop works on a mobile tablet device and also a desktop, so people can go through and click on it on their phones. And then you've got the latest blogs there, just so that if anyone wants to be educated on particular articles or news about Waterjet cutting in this sense, they can do so by visiting the blog. So this homepage has everything we need to be able to tell that story, and the main focus for us was to be able to get people into those internal pages as fast as possible by categorizing them and giving a visual element so that they can see exactly where they need to go. So the other homepage that I want to show you is Osmist. We did a similar thing for them because we've noted that over the past 5 or so years, where we've been taking these brochure style websites and creating user centric websites, this is the type of setup that works best, especially for clients that are similar to you guys. And we've done a similar thing where we have the value proposition right on the homepage hero banner there. So you can see they're misting and cooling specialists, they're local designers and manufacturings of the technology, and the technology is built for a range of applications. So immediately you can say, yep, I'm in the right place. These guys are who I need to be dealing with because I've got a particular application. It's a misting application. They can definitely help me if they're specialists. Some other benefits about the company. And then it's this directory setup again, where we allow a user to choose between the industrial misting solutions or the commercial misting solutions that we offer. And they can click right through to these application pages, and they can learn more about how that solution is applicable to that application, the benefits of choosing Osmist over others, and then recommends solutions. So as you can see, that path becomes a lot shorter than having a brochure style website that makes it hard for people to navigate. And they're obviously going to get frustrated if they can't find what they're looking for, and they probably drop off. So there's a lot of missed opportunity there because we're not supplying what a customer needs when they need it, and that's essentially the goal of a user-centric website. So moving down into the second sort of major issue I found with your website is the main menu at the top here. What I noted is that once again, it's hard for me to understand what type of machine, if I'm looking at this laser drop down, what type of machine I need to choose, because essentially I've just got names to work with. I don't have any clear indication of the differences between the machine. I haven't got any categories that the machines fit into that may be applicable to me. I don't even have a visual element that allows me to say, okay, this machine is a lot smaller. I'm looking for something a little bit bigger. Maybe this one works best for me. I'm going to choose to learn more about that and visit that product page. So essentially, we want to be doing a lot of work with the menu. We definitely want to be adding either categories to each of your drop downs so that people can easily differentiate between the machinery that you've got offered in lasers, CO2 lasers. What are the main differentiators? How can we easily allow a prospect to choose between the machine, or can we add some images to each of these menu links so that people can see what the difference is between the new K0604 Rapid and the K1325 is. So what we'd be proposing to do is obviously cleaning up your top menu. We might even put all machines under one drop down, like so, and that frees up more space for other main links that we can host in the main menu there. So as you can see, all products are listed under this drop down here, and they're categorized. But we'd also want to be looking to do something similar to what we've done for Objective 3D, who is a reseller of 3D printer and scanner technology. And they've done a combination of categorization and adding visual icons so that people can see the differences between their 3D printing technology. And the fantastic thing about this is they've categorized the technology based on materials, and they've also categorized the technology based on who's going to be using that printer type. So as you can see, you've got FDM, which is a particular material, and then you've got entry solutions. So they're more for your hobbyists. Then you've got large team solutions, so maybe for manufacturing shops. Then you've got carbon filled solutions, so they're specialized. And then you've got production solutions, so they're for your big design workshops, big automotive workshops, etc. So if I'm someone who's new to this technology, I can easily differentiate between the 50 or so printers that are available, and I can find a particular printer that's suitable for me, my application and unique requirements. So we would be looking to do something similar to this setup. Or if we don't want to go this far, we can definitely just have images and making sure that we categorize our products so that people can easily differentiate between each of the technologies that we offer. So moving down, the next page I wanted to cover was the category page. So going into the CO2 lasers, this is essentially a category page where you've dropped in all the products that you've got available within this range or this technology type. And I guess the goal of a category page is to essentially help a prospect choose between the different products that are available. And that means providing information that allows them to differentiate, and serving that information, which is probably the most important part, serving that information in a way that is easy for them to digest, and it's easy for them to compare the different products so they can try and narrow down their search as quick as possible, and either come to one or two products that are applicable to them, and then they can make the decision. Or if we do it correctly, they should be able to come down to one product that is suitable for their application, their unique requirements. What I've noted with your category page is that it's hard to differentiate between each machine. And the reason why that is because of the way it's laid out. There's long slabs of text positioned next to each machine. So I essentially have to go through paragraphs and paragraphs to try and pull information out. And that's obviously, as a consumer, it's going to take me time. There's a lot of thinking involved in that. I sort of have to be a little bit well versed in the subject to get an understanding of the output of the machine, the size of the machine, where it's used, what its capabilities are, what material it's able to cut, etc. What are the benefits? And then I have to remember all of that information and then scroll down to the next machine, read that, and then try and compare the two in my head. We essentially want to take that away from the customer, and we want to do the comparison on the screen for them. And the way we would propose to do that is to either create a table where they can easily compare between each machine, and then they have a button to click through to the product page, or we would have a filter style system where it lists all the machinery that's available in that category, and then they can use the filter to sort through the machinery based on, in this case, we've got industry, application, technology, material. For yours, it could be size, it could be output, it could be a number of different other things. And then they've got a visual element to see the machine there. They can get the main specs of the machine, and then they have a button to learn more, which directs them to the product page. So a major flaw with your current setup also is, the visual hierarchy that you've got on the page currently. You sort of miss the information here. Sort of makes it hard to read because my eye essentially goes directly to this product card here. So if this is important information and it gives me a good overview of what I'm about to learn on the page, I've essentially missed that, and I'm already into learning about the first product here. And if I'm trying to compare product one with the last product on the page, it's extremely hard for me to do so. So we would be working with a combination of how we display the products, the information that we're going to be using to be able to differentiate each machine, and the way we do that, whether it's a comparison table or whether it's a filter system like the one I just showed you, we can come to a conclusion there. But I think that's going to be the best way for us to help our users find a product that is suitable for them. So essentially everything comes back to that user, and how we can make it easier for them to get to the end goal, which is for you guys, obviously, leads, inquiries, and sales. So moving down into the next page that I want to cover is the product page. So if I was just to click on this product, as you can see, we've got a product page here. It sort of replicates an e-com style product page, but there is a lot of things wrong with this page, which I'll cover in a second. But I want to talk to you about the goal of a product page. So the main goal of a product page essentially is to make it easy for a prospect to view the product, to find the information about the product, whether that's specifications, features, benefits, extras, to understand what's involved in the next step in the process. So whether that's shipping, refund policy, um, warranty, etc., and also make it easy for them to go from viewing the product to the next step. Uh, the major flaw with your current page setup, and we'll get to the content and the layout in a second, but there's no call to action. So what do I do next as a customer? Where do I go? Who do I contact? How do I get in touch with these guys about this machine? What we want to do is lessen the steps. So essentially, if I'm trying to inquire about this KO604 rapid machine, I would have to work out whether I need to go down to the bottom of the page here to try and find some contact details. I would need to either hit the contact button up the top here. But essentially what we want to do is have the contacts button or the purchase button right there on the screen so that they can go to the next step in the process. We don't want to create more steps because more steps increases the probability that a customer won't go through with the conversion or the lead. So that's what we're trying to do, lessen the amount of steps here. Also, we need to take into consideration layout. As you can see, there's an issue with the visual hierarchy on how the text is positioned. You've got this headline at the top here. Seems to be a slogan or a tag, and then you've got the bed size, the power, and the price, and then you've got this list of highlights here, which sort of looks like it's out of position. Not sure what highlights means. Are they benefits? Are they features? Are they specifications? I think we need to be a bit more clear on what we're trying to list there. And also the way that this is designed, it's not very pleasing on the eye. If I'm looking at this, my eye generally goes from the product image across to the red price, and then I get lost in this list here, and then I jump back up. What we're trying to do is make it easy for someone to scan through this information, find exactly what they're looking for, and then proceed to the next step. This page is also missing a lot of elements, conversion elements that instills trust in a customer right when they're about to make a purchasing decision. And it doesn't allow us for them to overcome some objections they may have before they proceed with purchasing this machine. And I'll cover what those are for you now. So first of all, there's no shipping information. I'm not too sure, once I inquire, is this machine going to get sent to me? How is it going to get sent to me? It's quite a large machine. What is the pricing for shipping? I'm not too sure. That's an objection. That's a friction point that's going to hinder the sale because that information is not there. It would take me to have to contact you guys and then have to ask you about the shipping that's involved with this machine. And if the shipping price is not something that I'm okay with, or the price point's too high, I'll probably deter away from it. And we've gone through all that work to contact the customer, maybe ask them a few questions, and then get to a point where they find out the shipping price is too high. We've wasted a lot of time there. So we need to have these bits of information on the page so that people can make a purchasing decision right then and there. The availability of the product, is this in stock? How many are there? If I was to, if I've got a big shop and I needed multiple machines here, are you able to facilitate, me purchasing 5 of these? There's no returns policy, refunds, or money back guarantee on the page itself. What I want to be knowing is if I'm going to be dropping close to $10,000 on a machine, if something goes wrong or I'm not really happy with my purchase, what is the process in returning or getting my money back? I need to know all these things as a consumer so that I can make an informed purchasing decision. There's no express payments or secure payment icons if we're going to be asking people to check out and leave their card details, or use an alternative payment provider that allows them to split payments, we need to offer that on the page in this above the fold section. So there's obviously going to be a lot of design work that goes into this, and I'll show you an example of a really good product page that we've designed, and also one that we use as an example, which is a skincare brand. Although it is a consumer-based product, that is, obviously price points a lot lower than yours, and it's not as complex. Just the way that their product pages are designed are fantastic. So I'll walk you through that example in a second. There's no form to capture a lead or any questions that a client might have. A customer might have. There's no customer reviews. So at this point, I really want to be knowing who's used this machine, who's bought from you in the past. Has it worked for them? What's their experience been like? Reviews are everything nowadays. Obviously, Amazon started that trend, and it spills over into every industry and every type of product. If people can see, other people who look like them, so maybe they have the same application or they're in the same situation, and they've bought a product from you and it works well for them, then it's going to give me it's going to give them a lot more motivation to trust you guys and proceed with the sale. There's no FAQs on the page. So on product pages, we definitely want to be dropping some FAQs and answering the top questions that your sales team has discovered of people that come to you right before purchase. What are those top questions that people need answered before going through with making a purchasing decision? We can have all that information here. They won't be ringing you and asking you questions. All of those objections or those frictions that they may have in their head get answered right here on the page. Now, as I was clicking through the information, the specifications is okay. It's in a table, so that works well. But the materials table, there's no guide for me to understand how I need to interpret this table. I do possibly think that the green means you can, the red means you can't. I'm not too sure what the yellow is, but there's no guide or key for me to be able to understand this table. So we really need to work on clarity, so that people can, if we're going to have tables and these types of elements on our pages, we need to put everything in front of a consumer so they can understand exactly the message that we're trying to paint to them. And also the examples of your products that you make, they're sort of hidden all the way down past this table here. And this is a main selling point for this machine. Essentially what a user is envisioning is what I can do with this machine. Now this should be a focal point. It should possibly even go into the gallery of images so that people can get an understanding of 3 or 4 images of materials or designs or things that you guys have cut or your customers have cut, and then you can have another section underneath that to showcase a lot more of them. And then I found there was an issue with this extras tab. What does extras mean? Are these extras to enhance the machine? Are they accessories? We need to be a bit more clear here. But I also noted that these are clickable and they actually take you to the shop page. That is a major flaw with a product page, because essentially what you're trying to do is get the lead or get the sale. And if you distract someone by taking them to another shop page where they're going to be looking at this chuck rotary, then essentially they might get lost in that and be deterred from proceeding with the sale or the lead or contacting you guys about the main item that we want them to purchase. So we would do a bit of work here. We would probably provide a little bit of information about the accessories that are relevant to this product, this machinery, so that they can get enough information so they don't have to go to another page and read up about the product. They can stay on this page and then follow through with their purchasing decision. I also noted that there's no brochure download. A lot of people will either be wanting to learn about the machine and take information away to either talk to the management team, talk to a partner, talk to a colleague about the machine. So we need to give them the option of being able to download the specifications, the materials, etc., in a brochure, and they can take that away, and they can have it essentially on their desk, and they can be talking about it and then come back to you because they've got that information in front of them. If we don't give them that option, we may lose that lead, because what will happen is they'll learn about the product, they'll put in their diary to talk about the machine that they were investigating with a colleague, and they'll never get around to it. Or they'll forget who you guys are, and it'll be hard for them to find what they were looking for. So a brochure on product pages is fantastic. It's a great way for us to, get a lead, someone who is willing to exchange their name and their email for that information, and then you guys can follow up with them and slowly start that sales cycle with that person, because you know that they're interested in particular machinery, and then you can start to digress what they're looking to do and facilitate that sale. I also noted that there's no related products here. So if I was doing some investigation about learning more on this machine in particular, and then there was another machine that I wanted to have a look at, we need to make it really easy for them to go and click on that machine at the bottom of the page here, and they can have a look at what that machine offers versus this one. So related products is fantastic on product pages. And also there's no urgency or incentive for me to buy this machine now. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need that extra push to purchase something when they're in purchasing mode. So incentivizing them with maybe a limited deal, something you can offer that enhances the purchase, could be something that you bundle with the machine. Maybe it's something to do with shipping. Maybe it's a limited discount for the time being. We can always come up with something there, but incentives and creating urgency is definitely going to help improve conversions, and that's something we would work on when redesigning a product page. And obviously the value proposition. We need to keep reinstating that, and so people can understand why they should purchase from you guys over competitors. So I know there was a lot to cover in this product page, but there was a lot here that we wanted to sort of bring to your attention so you could understand, what's possibly causing you guys to lose out on leads and sales, especially on these pages that are pivotal to increasing your conversions, and just give you an understanding of what we're looking to create for product pages. So if you have a look at Osmist, we've done a product page template for these guys, and it essentially, as you can see, the call to action is the biggest element in the top section here. It's clear, and this is the next step in the process for someone who wants to learn more, inquire about this machine. They request a quote, so we need to have that at the top of the page. Then moving down, as you can see, nice big clear image, a little short description, key features about the machine, put in a table here so people can easily get the key features at a glance. The request a quote button comes into play again, and then you've got the warranty policy. So they can see what they're covered for. They can see if there's anything wrong with the machine, what it's going to take for them to get their money back. So we're answering all the questions that people need right at the point of sale so that they can make an informed purchasing decision. And like you guys have got, we've got different tabs here to try and group information, but you can see the difference between our information and the way it's served compared to yours. Everything is bulleted. We try and keep things as short and concise as possible. And we try and answer all the questions that people have right then and there. So as you can see, we've implemented FAQs and we've got specifications here. Moving down, the next thing that people might want to get an understanding of after they've understood what the machine is, they've gotten their specs, it all checks out, how does this machine work? What's the process in setting this thing up? So we've got a really nice video there. Then a major benefit of the machine is the dust or the mist throw. So this one actually has 20 meters worth of mist throw. So that is a major benefit that we're leading with here. And then, as you can see, the related products come into play, the value proposition, and then a form at the bottom of the page here. If someone needs to speak to an expert, if they've got some questions that we didn't cover in the page, they can get into contact with a team member from Osmist. So that's one product page example, and that has majority of the selling elements that you need to make a conversion, especially for a complex product like yours. And the other would be something along the lines of Techni Waterjet. So if we go to their product page, what we've done here is, because Techni Waterjet's machines don't differentiate between what they can do, the only differentiator is the size of the machine. We thought to group the machines on one product page here. And as you can see, we go through talking about the benefits of what you can do with a waterjet machine, applicable to applications and industries, the why you should use the waterjet machines, then the materials you can cut. We've got a live demo here that walks through some particular cuts. Then obviously a infographic to cover all the different features and specifications with the machine. So this is a good visual way to show specifications. And then we list the products here, and within the products you can see that the main bits of information are listed, and they can see the types of materials they can cut with this machine in particular. They can inquire for price right then and there, or they can download the data sheet, and that's the brochure I was referring to before. And then, if they want to learn more about the product, they can see the features that the product has, or the machine has. Then they've gone to the next step, which is showing that through a video. And then, some more call to actions, because essentially all we're trying to do here is get the lead. So we want to put that as a priority on this page. And then we go into the additional options here, but we've added visual elements and benefits to showcase the accessories, in your case, of what the machine can be paired with to enhance its output. And then as we go further and further down the page, it just keeps on selling the major benefits of what you can do with the machinery and what makes our machinery, the leader in the market, and why people should choose us, which is essentially, we offer after machine support. We've got the best pumps on the market. We've got the best software on the market. And then we keep people informed with some case studies here so they can see how others have used the machinery. And that's essentially a combination of like reviews that have been built out to go into more detail, so people can get a full holistic understanding of the way that these businesses have used Techni Waterjet to overcome certain challenges they had. And then, as you can see, it ends with a form. Now, the last page I wanted to show you, that is another example of a product page, is Objective 3D. So if we just go to one of their product pages here, as you can see, this is like a long form sales page. This goes into every detail that you can think of when selling a particular 3D printer. And I guess this is probably the biggest form page that I've shown you an example of. And as you can see, it goes into the features. It's got brochures, it's got video elements, it's got major benefits, it's got a lot of call to actions here. It goes into the materials, the specifications, and the features. Everything is grouped nicely, so depending on what a user wants to find out more information about, they have that ability to click and expand certain sections, the industries that it's used in, the software that it can be paired with, resources that enhance the sale, and then you've got the free quote, and then the value proposition at the end of the page. So yeah, we would be doing a combination of those three. Obviously, what's going to be best suited for you guys is something we'll discover. But that's essentially what we'd be proposing for a product page for you guys. Now, moving down, something that we don't have on the current website that Sebastian and I spoke to you about when we first came to you guys is application pages. Application pages, are essential for your machine because they are multi-use. So there's a lot of different applications that your machine um, can help with. So essentially, we want to create application pages to go in detail about the issues that people are facing within that application, or try and get an understanding of what they're trying to do with the machine and pair it to that application. How your machine is best suited for that application, the benefits that relate to the end user, why someone would consider your machines over others in the market, and recommended products. So essentially, what we'd be doing is giving them all the information they need, educating themselves on why the machine is suitable for their application, talking about the outputs and what it can do, and then at the bottom, we want to be providing them with recommended solutions so they can go to the product pages and learn more about that machinery. These application pages are essentially disguised as sales pages. They do a lot of the heavy lifting because there's a lot of education involved. Someone who is coming to you and wanting to learn more about an application is probably a bit earlier in the buying cycle. So we need to do a lot of educating so they can understand how your machine fits into their application and then recommend a solution for that particular application or solutions. So a good example of this is Osmist. Osmist, we've built out 7 or 8 different applications based on their misting and cooling solutions, and one of them is dust suppression. So this is a major issue that work sites have, where if they don't suppress dust, we talk about the problems that they could face. One of them harming health and well-being of workers, unscheduled machine downtime, and visits from the EPA site shutdown and huge fines. So we're really instilling the issue that they're having, your ideal customer is having at that point, and then we offer the solution. So these pages go into great detail about how the solution is applicable to mining sites, construction sites, demolition sites, etc. The benefits of the machinery paired with images, and then we offer the solutions to overcoming the dust suppression problem that some work sites would be having. And then we go into more detail about how it works. We give them a video, and then we talk about why they should choose Osmist. So there are more benefits. Then we talk about the process and a couple of case studies, FAQs, and then a form. So as you can see, they are long form sales pages, but they're very, very useful because the machinery has different uses, different applications that it applies to. So we start to become more relevant to users who are not very educated in the machine itself, but they've got a particular application that they're wanting to learn more about, and they're wanting to see how your machine can help them in their, with their unique requirements. And then finally, second to last, we also want to include material pages. Your machines cut a lot of different ranges of materials, so we definitely want to be creating a page that talks about the different materials, the benefits of cutting using laser versus others, and we'd be proposing to do something similar to Techni here. I just have to find the materials page. Just bear with me whilst this opens. So as you can see, it lists all the different types of materials. So they've got metals, and they showcase those with images, benefits, so that people can see, okay, this laser cutting machine gives me the ability to cut X, Y, and Z. This is the machine that's suitable for me. I'm going to learn more about the machine by visiting the product page. So essentially, we'd want to be doing something similar to this, where we break up all the different materials that your machines cut, give them an understanding of why the technology is superior in cutting that type of material, and then obviously supplying them with some benefits. And then finally, the last thing we definitely want to be working on with your new website is case studies. Case studies are a major selling advantage, especially with high ticket items and complex machinery. Like what I showed you with Techni. Let me just find the. There we go. Like what I showed you with Techni before, they have a different range of case studies that goes into a great amount of detail of how a particular client of theirs, was experiencing a problem. They came to Techni. Techni went through and helped them with the solution, and then go into detail about how that solution helped them achieve a certain output or outcome. These are selling pieces essentially, because people do want to see how your technology is being used by others. And if they can get a really good understanding of some issues that they may be facing that they can see within the case study, and they can see that the solution was provided, and they can see that the process was seamless, you guys are a breeze to work with, the machine is fantastic, they're considering purchasing more, well, that's going to encourage them to choose your machines over others. So we would definitely want to be working on a few case studies. So that would be in the background of the website build after we come up with the main pages. This is just an additional selling piece that we wanted to include, and just to make you aware of. So I know this was a very long-winded discussion. There was a lot to cover here. You're probably sick of my voice at this point, but as you can see, we definitely want to be moving in the direction of creating a user-centric website for you guys, and that means making a website that is applicable to all types of customers that you guys have, and creating that path of least resistance so we can take them from where they are to where they need to be by serving them the right information, and allowing them to navigate through the site easily so that they can find the product that they want to inquire about and proceed with making a purchasing decision. So if you guys have any more questions about any of the details that are listed within this video, please feel free to give Sebastian and I a call. We can definitely follow up with any of your questions and clarify them. And I really hope this was helpful for you guys to get an understanding of what we're looking to do in order to grow CoinEgg, and position you guys as the authority in the marketplace so that you can start to grow as a business online. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and we'll chat soon.